Good morning. Welcome to the Iron Orchid Designs 2024 spring release of their newest products. Zeb and I are super excited to show you 15 new products, and then we are going to show you how to use each type of product. So we're not going to use all 15 in one video. That's a little crazy.
It's like an 8-hour marathon video.
We're going to do a transfer demo, a paint inlay demo, a mold demo, and a stamping demo. So that way, if you're new to Iron Orchid Designs, you can see exactly how to use every product. And if you are an old Iron Orchid Designs friend, at least you'll get to see them up close and personal and in use.
All right, so we're gonna show stamps first here real quick. One of the ones I'm most excited because I think it's the most versatile is this little Apothecaries label set. They're mini stamps, and you get a bunch of different labels and then all the lettering, and they're all in caps. I think these are gonna be really useful, and even for like placing down in molds and things when you do the labels. What are those called? The
olive labels, the olive crest transfer.
There we go, the olive crest one. It has like some labels for molds.
These are good because they are such a value for the money, because you can make any holiday you want by spelling out the words that you want. You can make tags, you can use them on thrift flips, you can make ornaments. This is something that you're definitely gonna wanna pick up because we're gonna be using it a lot throughout the year, and if you don't have it, then every time we use it, you're just gonna be sad. We don't want that.
You'd be like, oh, I wish I could make that.
We're gonna use it a lot.
Next one up, this one is the veranda, and it's really great. You can do a whole ton of stuff. This looks like an old window, like a stained glass window to me. I think it would be
lattice work.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to do on like a big panel window or something that you had, like an old window.
Also frames.
Yeah.
Like you can frame out stuff. You could push it into a mold and do like a relief with these.
I think it would be really great to stamp something and then do the watercolor and then frame it. Like use this like your sketch and watercolor it.
That's a good one. I love all the florals. Florals, florals, florals. And isn't that what spring's about?
Yes.
We are desperately waiting for flowers to come back to Utah.
All right, I'm gonna mess the name up on this. Pastiche.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to say pastiche.
Past itchy?
Pastiche.
I think past itchy is the best.
This one here, I am excited about this. Gonna be doing a lot of masking with this one, and it comes with the masks. All of these stamps do.
And the masks are now printed.
Yes, so you can see what they actually are.
See what they are. I don't know if you ever had the older masks and they were just in outline, so you had to put them back in order or remember what they are, but now they have the print on them. So that's gonna be a huge, like, you're gonna love that. If you've used the old Iron Orchid Designs stamp masks, you're gonna love these.
Okay, and then this one is also gonna be good. You know we're gonna use this one like crazy. It's got cows, horses, chickens, scroll work.
Grain sack, stripe.
Yeah, this one is right up our alley. I think they made this just for me and Jami.
They're like, ooh, farmhouse, cottage, cozy, all the things.
It's even named good. It's called the mercantile stamp.
Is it mercantile or mercantile?
It depends on where you're from. It's like, is it Worcestershire or Worcestershire?
It's Worcestershire.
I know.
Because I've been to England. I've been schooled.
Okay.
Molds.
So this is the specimens mold. Jami is on the fence about this one because it's bugs. It's literally bugs and beetles.
No, but I've seen them painted gold and made look like they have jewels in them. And then I was like, okay, I get it. This is cool.
I think it could be really good for jewelry making, even like a big brooch or something, you know, have a big gold brooch bug on you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Pinchers.
But they're so detailed. Like if you got, I don't know. I almost want to do them with like a flexible like rubber inside the
I was
mold.
just gonna say, how fun would this be also for like crafting with kids?
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of what I would consider girly type things, and I know for sure that Jack would love if we made all of those out of resin and let him paint them.
Yeah, you can make your own toys here.
Yeah, they're so cute. And also, these are food safe. So you could have a bug themed party and put like, make bug chocolates, or for Halloween. Oh,
this puts a new spin on chocolate covered roaches and crickets.
And you could put it in your Jello, like you didn't know is there for Halloween. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Those are gonna be great. All right, this one is the Verdice. We're gonna leave it out there for you guys.
It's leaves.
I'm gonna say it wrong so that you can comment below and let me know how it actually.
The sisters
is
love it when
supposed
we
to be
mispronounce stuff.
sold. And misuse stuff. You know, we're always breaking their products. This is great. You could build an entire wreath. You could do a whole tree. It's a ton of different leaf elements. I think this would be really cool on lamps, candlesticks, vases. The sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do with this, you can. It's a really good base element of leaves that you can build off from.
I actually didn't even think about for a wreath. Because it would be a great base for the wreath, and then you could layer on whatever ornaments you want with different Iron Orchid Designs molds. And it comes with like the branches and stuff too. That is, I feel like, a really good complementary one as well. So if you have other like floral molds from Iron Orchid Designs, but you've wanted more leaves, that will be great to pair those together.
Invitation only. I am here for this invitation. It's got a fox and a stag and a dog and a cat in what looks to be tuxedos.
Is that a cat or like a what? Oh, that's a cat. Yes,
a cat.
It's a cat. Meow.
I'm going to be using this one today. You're going to get to see it on one of the projects we're doing here.
It reminds me of, I'm going to go back to Halloween. It reminds me of the Haunted Mansion.
Well, because they have those animals with.
Are they animals?
Well, they're like they look like people, but then they have animal heads.
Yeah. And this is really, I've seen it trending in a lot of design, the animal heads dressed as people.
It's very popular. We saw it a bunch in England when we were going into antique shops. They had lots of pictures, old antique looking pictures of that. It's like an art style.
IOD is always on the fringe of like the next upcoming trend, and I know that's coming.
I got this one, faux bois.
Faux bois, fake wood. It comes with the corners as well, so you can make like lattice work, you can make frames, and then it comes with the like fake wood, and it's so detailed it even has little leaves on it, or you've got bamboo.
I think this one would really you could make your own frames and things, but I think it would also really complement their fairy garden mold that they already have. You could do some really fun things, you know, Swiss Family Robinson tree that you need to build. Like
frame out dressers that have boring flat fronts to have like the faux wood, especially like the bamboo, very mid-century modern.
Yeah.
I see a lot of things happening with that.
Okay, we're up to your section.
Okay, we divided up. So he did molds and stamps. I am going to do inlays and transfers. So there are, is it 3 inlays? I'm pretty sure there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 inlays. So we have lattice rows.
This one's good. It reminds me of wallpaper. It's going to be going on a lot of furniture, I guarantee.
It comes with 8 sheets, 2 of each design, and looks a lot like vintage wallpaper. I'm actually going to be using this one today. And then we've got Petite Fleur in red. And it's so good that they also made it in pink. And on the back, I'm going to show you, Zeb's going to superimpose the pretty pictures for you guys, so you'll get to see them up close. But I love these inlays. And I'm going to use one on a frame, and we're going to put Marie Antoinette in it. So these are very fancy floral situations here. Next up, we have transfers.
This is what we've been waiting for.
You know I love the small pads. The smaller format, because you can use them. This would fit in an 8x10. There are 8 sheets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are kind of like a full sheet that have words on them, so you could use them in 8x10s, or you could use them on smaller decor.
Well, I heard this is out of a poem, like it's a poem that like goes like the whole thing.
Oh, you could do the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's like a story, but each sheet is like its own little section of the poem story situation.
I just thought it was really cool, and I love that it's like a lot of value for your money because you can break it up and use it on so many small projects.
Yeah, you can use them individually. Don't think you got to use all 8 sheets at once.
So that one's Lover of Flowers. This one is Joy des Roses.
Don't say the
S. Roses. Joy de Roses. And it is all things bird, floral, and citrus. It's beautiful. It's got a really great vintage crackle. You see that on there?
It reminds me of really old oil paintings.
Yeah, it's like a cracked old oil painting. So I am going to be using this one today on a thrift flip. And then the only one I'm not getting to today, we'll have to do on a future project. You guys comment below and tell me what color of furniture you want me to do this one on, because I'll do it on a big piece. This one is Collage de Fleurs. And it's flowers and ivy and little, what are those blue ones called? I never can remember. Are they forget-me-nots?
Maybe.
I think so.
Your guess
so
is as good
pretty.
as mine.
And we love all things. These are like the big fat like flowers. Let's get to the, look at that. It's like the size of my head.
That is big.
Yeah.
You need a cabbage rose, they got you.
Yeah, they got you all the way. So this, comment below, let me know what color you want to see me use collage de fleurs on, and we will do that in an upcoming video. All right, we're gonna turn the camera off real quick, and we're gonna get things thrift flipping.
We're gonna get some drop cloths out, set up for some paint.
Okay, so first things first, we're gonna start painting and doing the things that will take the longest. So I'm gonna work on my inlaid frame. We picked up this frame at the thrift store. What was it, like $2, $1?
Yeah, nothing was over $3.
Nothing was over $3. In fact, this was only $1. And this was free from Elaine. She dropped by a box of goodies. I'm gonna make that over. So I'm gonna get started painting this aviary. Then I will lay my inlay on there and I'll get to the next step. I'll let Zeb tell you what he's doing.
I've got resin. This is the amazing casting resin. This is the amazing casting resin. We carry this on the website along with the air dry clay if you don't like resin, if you prefer the clay. For ease of use.
What is that website?
JamiRayVintage.com.
JamiRayVintage.com. Commercial break.
For ease of use, this is gonna go resin today because it dries fast. I can glue it right on there. In 10 minutes, we'll be able to have this on. So I am using the invitation only. I'm going to do what looks like a fox to me. I'm gonna say it's a fox, I think it's a fox, and the stag.
We're gonna be using it on a tote, and it's got a bottle opener and a really cool like metal, sorry, my nose is itching, a metal handle. And I think it'll be good because we do a lot of feminine things, and I actually think this is gonna air a little bit masculine, so it'll be fun in case anybody needs to get a head start on Father's Day.
Don't let her kid you. You could totally do these up pink and it'd be fine.
Oh, you could put a bow on every single one of these and girly them up. Don't you stress. All right, I'm using aviary, and oops, I got paint where I don't want it. Once I get this painted on here, then we can lay on the inlay, and I'll set it aside to dry.
I've got some extra, so I'm also gonna do the dog here.
So what's your favorite thing that we just showed? Like out of all of them, just off the bat, what do you think?
I'm about to use it. I think this mercantile stamp is gonna be heavily used throughout all the seasons around here. I'm gonna be putting it on all kinds of small decor, and I think it's big enough, it holds up. You could put it in like a big cabinet too if you wanted to.
Oh, like on the back of a cabinet, almost like fabric or something? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen people do that with fun fabrics. You could also use this on like a drop cloth and create your own fabric to upholster with. And I think that would be really fun, especially since it has the grain sack stripes. That would really, you could just heat set that with an iron and you'd be good to go.
All right, these are pretty large pours. I was just making sure that I had all of the resin up into the antlers because sometimes it'll create like a little air pocket and it won't run up into the tiny little details, so you gotta kind of coax the resin in there. But it's in the whole mold, and I'm just gonna push this aside. These are larger pours, so it should dry up in 7 to 10 minutes and be ready to be glued on. Just gonna scooch that up here.
I'm gonna try not to get paint all over your stuff. I'm flinging paint today, guys.
And this box I'm gonna paint. I'm using crockery in the cottage colors. I just want a good neutral. I'm probably gonna use that mercantile stamp with some black permanent ink. I was gonna do paint, but I really wanna show you all the detail, and sometimes paint isn't as detailed when you use it to stamp. And then I will also probably dark wax this. We'll see where it goes. You're gonna see where it takes us.
We're using all Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint. I have the original clay-based formula, and Zeb's is the cottage color line that's curated by us at Jami Ray Vintage. Mark your calendars for the 28th of March. We are going to have our next color release, and also it's worth noting that there is going to be a price increase. So if you want any DIY paint, you're going to want to buy your cottage colors, the existing ones, before the 28th, and you're going to want to buy the DIY paint before April 1st because there is going to be a price increase. All right, so I'm going to lay down one sheet from my paint inlay into the paint. This is kind of nice because I don't have to worry about an edge because it's all over design. I'm gonna go get my brayer and roll this in, and then I'll get the back of it wet and set it aside.
All right, so this is a light creamy crockery color on pretty much light toned pine wood. So the dark wax, I think I'm gonna have to dark wax this to give it some dimension and some character.
Okay. You're supposed to use a mister bottle. I like to disclaim that. And all the directions for the paint inlay are on the back. There's 2 different applications. You can do the paint inlay into paint like this, or you can do it into sealer, and both ways are very adequately explained on the back of the inlay. And if you ever have questions, you can always email info@jamirayvintage.com, and we're happy to help you with any of the products that you purchased from us. Okay, so I've activated this, and I'm using my knife to pull it up. I'm gonna set this over to dry. It's best if you just let it dry all on its own and don't mess with it, and don't try to like use a heating gun or anything like that when you're doing it into paint. So I'm gonna set this aside.
Don't do it like we do on every live stream is what she's telling you.
I'm like, do it the way you're supposed to do it.
Because the live stream, I mean, there's like limited time. You don't wanna sit there and watch paint dry while you're live. So
I'm gonna go over it one more time with the brayer just to really make sure that's adhered. And you'll know when it's dry because the back will become more opaque like it is before you get it wet. If it's still translucent, then it's not dry. Okay, we're gonna let that work and get started on transfers. I have a feeling I might be helping Zeb with projects because
your projects are small?
I picked the easy ones.
Well, mine is gonna go pretty quick because I have this tote here. Once these dry, look at, they're already drying. Look at that, they're already curing up. They're still a little gummy around like the thin areas, but you can see there, that's gonna be done so quick.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm using the right ones.
I just really have to paint this box and stamp it, and then I only have 2 projects, you have 3.
Oh yeah, but mine are good. This one, I'm not even painting this. I'm just putting a transfer on it because it's already really cool. So what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna use this part here, and then I'm gonna put the other part on the back. So I'm gonna cut what I'm using first. It has like this zigzag line, that's how you line up the transfers. This one in particular, make sure when you buy it that you read the description, because there are some differences in the way this connects versus other transfers. And I want you guys to see that. We included a close-up picture so you can see it. It has a lot of crackle and vintagey stuff, and it's just slightly different than the other transfers. So we wanna make sure that you look at those pictures, you know how it goes together, what it's gonna look like. That way you're ready to go. So I'm gonna cut this. Do we have scissors out?
I don't think so yet.
Okay.
I had them out earlier and then I put them back away.
All right, it's all right.
Okay, I think that's good enough. I'll paint the bottom when we're all said and done. I think that'll do good for now.
The thing about these transfers is this one is made to go all together on a big piece of furniture. If you hop over to the website, you'll see what that looks like. But you can also piece them together the way I'm doing and fit them on smaller thrift flips. 2 sheets is gonna do this entire thing, and it comes with 8 sheets. So there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with it.
So I don't know on the color on this. I was thinking doing like the taupe color that we've got. But I don't know.
I don't know what, I think aviary would be cool, and then you could do gold wax on it, and dark wax on it. I don't know.
Gold. Some gold and dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's your project, but that's what I was thinking.
Well, I'm waiting for these to finish
setting up
because I'm gonna glue them and then I'll paint the whole thing. Although I could do the sides. Do you have that aviary with an aviary brush?
I may have given myself one more line than I needed. Whenever we film live like this, even though this is pre-recorded in case you can't tell, I always worry about messing up. We're not editing it, so you get what you get, but it's pre-recorded because we had an important...
Might be lightly edited.
Jack has Battle of the Books today, and he's read like a ton of books, and we have to be there for that competition. Oh, you know what, Zeb? So here's the thing. I cut off the top. Now I need to, I could just lay this here. All right, there we go.
To see right where it lines up?
Yeah, I was like, what did I cut off? Okay, perfect.
I may leave some of this wood. Don't be offended if I leave some of this wood.
Don't be offended?
Yeah.
Am I offended by when you don't paint all the wood?
I know you like to paint all the rungs.
Oh, it's fine. I like to two-tone. I did some totes the other day that were two-toned.
Getting my stripes on.
Okay. I might use some of the, did I cut off one? Oh, so help me.
No matter how you cut it, you can still piece it back together.
Well, I'm gonna have to now because I cut off one too short. All right, well, I'm gonna show you how to fix it if you do that. I meant to do that, we're good. Don't you stress, I got you. I'm gonna put
I'm not stressing at all.
I'm talking to the people on the other side of the camera. Now I just need my tool.
They were,
I
think they're over there. You got them?
So I didn't paint this ahead of time. You don't have to paint it. You can put transfers on stained wood. And I'm gonna just get one side going here, and then I'm gonna put the other piece on, and then I'm gonna put on the strip that I cut off. Because apparently I can't. I screwed up on our live video on Wednesday too.
It wasn't a mess up, it was a happy accident.
Happy accident, I made it work.
I need like a little bell to ring when I when I quote Bob Ross.
Ding! Make it into like you drink a sip of your water every time you say something about Bob Ross. Or every time I say super cute.
You gotta stay hydrated.
But if you do that, then you're gonna have to pee in the middle of the live video. So Odelia got her wisdom teeth out. She looks like, have you ever played that game Chubby Bunny where you fill your cheeks with marshmallows and say Chubby Bunny? That's kind of what she looks like. Her cheeks are a little swollen.
I have never played that game. Is
You've
that a
never
game?
we played at girls' camp, so maybe that's why.
Oh yeah, I've never.
You don't eat marshmallows, so.
Here's the thing, when you play that game with guys, they just eat all the marshmallows, like you never get to the
You're
point
not supposed to
where
eat them, you just
something.
shove them in your mouth, and whoever can shove the most amount of marshmallows in their mouth and say Chubby Bunny wins. It's hilarious. Can't believe you've never played that.
All right, so I think, two-tone, this, I'm gonna leave the inside wood. I'm gonna leave that wood. This will get painted here, but I'm waiting. You know, my fox might be ready to go because he was big and solid.
The bigger the mold, the faster the resin sets up because it's more of a chemical reaction. Did you already tell them that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
You can see the antlers here. They're still a little thin and not quite set up, but the fox is all real solid, so he came right out. I could do the fox and the dog there.
If you were putting a transfer on a painted surface, you just want your surface to be dry and dust free, and it does work best if the surface has been sealed and dried for at least a couple hours, but I have used it directly on DIY paint without sealing it after I just let it dry all the way. It just works better if it's a shiny surface. So I've got half of my transfer on. Now I'm gonna piece this other part here.
So there's 100 different kind of glues you could use. I always go with the Gorilla Max Strength Construction Adhesive in the clear. And I get it in this big caulking gun tube because I can just put a screw in the top of this, it stays good, and I just use it forever. It lasts probably a whole year as long as we don't let it dry out.
Oh, I know what I did. I cut off the tippy top of this one, and then I cut that off. So then I need to cut off this at this thing, and then it will line up. Because this is the same as, got it.
You got it figured out?
Yeah. People are probably watching on the other side of the camera going, Jamie, that's what you did. Don't you stress, I'll figure it out. It's me, I'm a problem solver.
Okay, we're still waiting on that.
Okay, so this.
I'm gonna get a heat gun real fast.
You gotta be careful, you gotta line these up correctly here. Did I line that up right? I'm not very good at this. I guess if I line up the flowers, that's like the most important part, right?
So I'm just gonna get the top dry so that I can start stamping this box.
I like to save all my scraps. I will use them at a later date.
But let me show you, this is why we use the construction adhesive. It's not going anywhere, I don't have to tape it up, and it'll be dry in about 30 minutes. And I can paint it before then because it's so thick, it's gonna just adhere this on here really well. And it works like that on most surfaces. If it's real shiny like a ceramic, you might want to tape or give it a little more time to dry before you start painting. But typically, especially on this wood, it's gonna soak right into those fibers and adhere to that resin really well and no issues. That's why I use it. Okay.
So this does have, I'm gonna show you up close, this has like lines and crackles like all through the piece. And so where it lines up, there's a little crackle that kind of matches all the crackle that's in the original art that they probably used to create this. I'm gonna show that to you before I distress it. This is really pretty.
We're doing it.
You're doing it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna leave it on its backer. Now, when you first get your stamps.
See all the crackle and distress in that? It's good.
You got some green paint on it.
Where?
On the other side.
Oh, shoot.
You got a rag right there. All right, but don't get it too wet because you want that to stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let it dry. I'll heat gun it.
Okay, important thing, when you first get your stamps, doesn't matter which one it is, this is like a silicone type material and it's kind of slick. If you want your ink or your paint or whatever medium you're using to stamp with to stick to it really well, you need to season it. This is 320 grit, we use 220 a lot. 320 is what I happen to have, and I'm just gonna lightly go over it. Make sure you're doing the right side. You don't wanna do the back side of the stamp or it won't stick to your mat.
All right, I'm just making sure that I'm cutting this right. I think I cut off an extra little skinny bit from that. Yeah, that lines up there, so I just need to cut off this little, right here.
Okay, I am gonna peel off a couple of these elements.
I am a professional, in case anybody's wondering.
It's gonna look like a professional did it when you're done, right?
That's right. Like double check to make sure that my oranges line up.
Okay, now all I have is the wreath. It's kind of like a laurel wreath.
Okay.
It's open at the top, and then I took off the date too, and that's gonna be the top of my box. Got the Iron Orchid Designs permanent ink. I'm gonna load this up on here. I'm gonna be careful not to go over the edges. And this is black, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't want it. What do you mean by over the edges? You just want to get on the plastic.
Yeah, because then you can smear on.
You don't want to smear it. My wet spot has dried.
Probably could have done this down on the table and it would have been quieter.
And I have some extra little pieces that I might do on the ends just because they're probably small enough that I won't be able to use them anywhere else. So we'll make good use of them. Save all your scraps, because sometimes you gotta hide mistakes that you make. So if you have the scraps, you're set. I have an entire drawer of scraps and I use them all the time.
Okay.
Once you get it on there, you can kind of just like ride the wave, because this is like a solid design. Look at that. And then it's a lot faster to put on. Boom. Okay. This part's still a little dampish. I'm gonna, how's my inlay? Oh, my inlay is ready.
Is it ready? If you're just joining us, this is the mercantile stamp, the new one.
And I'm using the Joy de Roses or something like that. And previously, I also used the Lattice Rose inlay. So I'm gonna grab that in a second. I'm gonna finish this project and I'll circle back to that. Okay.
Just making sure I pressed everywhere before I lift it up. I think because this is wood, we really picked up that wood grain on here. It's gonna be awesome.
I didn't even plan it, but I'm so glad that one side has a bird and one side has a butterfly.
Okay, I'm coming over here for the reveal with you guys. What do you think? I love it. And you can take out any elements out of the middle of this laurel wreath and add anything if you have other IOD stamps or anything you want to do in the middle. And because this is just a mat, I can pull any of these elements off.
All right.
Okay, that's really good. Loving that. Now I've got a few other elements on this stamp. Okay.
Ooh, you know what? It's a good thing I saved some parts because it's not quite lined up there. So I'm gonna fix it.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just freestyle these. These are so small. This is just it says number 7 on it. And I'm gonna put this on the bottom of the box in the corner.
See, there's a little teeny piece in the middle. Don't you stress, we're good. What part do I wanna? I need like a whole piece that doesn't look weird. Oh, I could just put this top of this flower. Okay.
Okay, freestyle meaning I didn't put it on the mat.
If you ever can't find your stick, sometimes you can just use your fingernail like I just did.
Uh-oh.
All right, there we go. There's a piece of flower where I didn't match it up right.
There's my number 7.
I feel like this is busy enough that maybe nobody would have noticed anyways, but there you go. Okay, now I'm gonna do the ends.
You know, that actually is amazing.
You like it? Did I do good?
It looks really good.
I think it'd be so pretty with like some little small jars in it, and you could put some flowers. And it was only $1, which is good because I'm using a lot of transfer. But I have, from the 2 sheets, I have a lot of little pieces left. So I have this piece here, this piece here, this piece here. But I'm gonna do the edges because I can. So.
All right. We're gonna stay with that for now. I'm gonna look and see if there's any other elements that I wanna put on here.
And if you have questions, go ahead and comment. We will respond. Caitlin is on here dropping links and responding, so no stress there. We got you.
Uh-oh. These are clear and I lost a couple of them.
Okay, so
Getting lost in the woods. Oh, here they are.
Little rose portion right here. See, just put it on the edge. And I put the straight line from where I cut it off on the bottom so that way it doesn't look weird.
That wasn't dry. Watch out. I got paint on my mat now.
What did you do?
I got paint on my mat.
Oh.
Where I don't want it.
This has a little lip that I should have maybe trimmed off. There we go. I'll distress the edges and it'll be fine.
So when you're doing layout, sometimes you can just grab your elements, put them where you want.
I'm just gonna do more flowers on the edge because I wanna save this. This is like big enough that I could do something decent with it.
Okay,
These are just weird random edges.
Got my elements where I want. Now I'm just gonna pick them up. That way I can duplicate this on the other side. Now they're on there. Okay, stamp these up. You can see the ink, it really picks up this detail. This works on fabric too. If you want to do fabric, the ink works pretty well. We also like to use the clay-based paint with fabrics to stamp, like we do a lot of chair seats and things.
Ta-da! Okay, so I'm just going to get some sandpaper. Are you done with that sandpaper that you used to get your stamp ready? I'm gonna distress this, and then all this needs to do is be sealed, which I'll probably do off camera because it's really not that exciting. You can use clear wax on the top, or you can use a liquid sealer. It needs to be something non-toxic, all natural. I can't speak to anything but the liquid sealers I carry. You can use Big Top, Liquid Patina, or the Sweet Pickins Final Finishes. All of that works great on these.
Just giving a little detail on the sides.
If you have something that's smelly, oops, just gonna lightly go over this. This is like distressing fast. If you have something that's super smelly and toxic or chemically, I don't recommend using it with your transfer.
The beauty of these stamps is you can do your layout however you want, and it makes it so that one stamp can do hundreds, if not an infinite amount of different designs. I can only think up of hundreds, so you know, I'm gonna stick with that.
Maybe be careful, I got
not
green
even
paint.
hundreds. That box is looking really good.
I'm pretty proud. I don't know it's 320, so but it's really like distressing fast. So be gentle.
It's a fresh, like brand new 320 though.
If you're ever gonna distress the top of a transfer, go gentle. You don't want to go crazy. See how it's gonna distress, so you don't want to take too much off. This is cute.
Can I borrow my paper bag?
What?
I'll just use this one.
Sharing is caring. Make sure also, guys, take your transfer and make sure it's really adhered well before you start distressing. That's important. I think there's a word for that, burnishing. Burnish your transfer. All right, that was probably one of the most simple projects. And it took less than 2 sheets, so I'm happy about that.
I'm just seasoning again. I'm gonna do a fun design that I'm gonna lay out with the chicken and the cow, I think.
So be careful, guys, that you always leave your backer behind your transfer, or else you're gonna transfer everything. So keep the backer on your transfer till you're ready to stick it, or else you'll stick it where you don't want to. I just like to keep my little pieces and put that in here for safekeeping. I'm gonna clean up my mess and we'll get back to our inlay. And then we'll do one more transfer and then I will be done. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
Okay. I haven't even been watching what you're doing.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, goodness. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm just screwing things up over here. You can't be messing up any worse than me. I cut wrong pieces. I lost myself. I didn't line it up right and I had to throw an extra flower somewhere.
I got a whistle in my throat. It's probably picking up on the mic.
Okay. So you see now that it's gone more translucent and before it was opaque. So now we know that it's dried enough. So I'm gonna get it wet and then we'll peel it back. You can leave it even a little bit longer, but I think we're good. Now, when you use an inlay with paint like this, you can use it over and over again, but some of that paint will transfer onto your next piece. It could be a really great effect. Just keep that in mind. But if you do this into a finish, or you do it into a sealer, then that makes it so it seals the paint, and I don't think you can use those multiple times. So if you want to use it multiple times, put it into paint. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys probably know if you follow me, I am not the most profesh and perfect inlay, but I've never had one that just I couldn't use at all. Like I've always been able to make it work. I'm not like one of those stockists who's like proficient at it, so if I can do it, so can you. And this is a perfect one to get if you're new because it has 8 sheets that you can use independently. You can use little portions of it on tiny little things, and you can practice, practice, practice. Okay, I've got the back damp. You should use a mister bottle, but this is what we got. Oh, do you want to see it on this side? Do you want to do it up close?
Yeah, let's get up close for this one.
That's a lot of stress on me.
No pressure.
No pressure?
Don't mess this up.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Boom, baby, like a boss.
I can get closer, hold on.
They're all distressed and perfect. And I'm gonna put Marie Antoinette in there and she's gonna look gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna lay this way so it can dry, so I can use it again.
All right, now you need to dry that off and finish it off so we can put Marie in there.
I know, where did Marie go?
She's over in the windowsill, so she's not getting painted.
Okay, well I'm gonna move it over to dry and I'll work on my glass and then I'll come back to this, seal it up, and we'll put Marie in here. I will eventually paint the back too.
Almost lost my stamp pad for a second.
I almost didn't use aviary because Zeb said he wasn't sure if it looked good, but I'm glad that I did. All right, I'm gonna flip this over because I want to get paint on my bottle. Because you didn't want me to use aviary on that.
Oh. No, I don't remember what I didn't want you to use aviary on.
All right, you're gonna notice that we had to edit that a little bit. Jack had a friend that came over and the dogs went crazy. But we're back to work. I'm trying to decide which one I want to put on my bottle. I'm thinking this apple blossom. I wanna do one that's kind of like a half one. Some of these are too big. Pink rosebud. think I'm gonna go with Apple Blossom. So this has, how many sheets? This has 8 different sheets, and it's a little bit smaller format, so definitely perfect for thrift flipping. Actually, I don't know, maybe I want more words than that.
I need to put something in the middle here on this.
So the only thought, Zeb, is trying to get little letters, like a lot of these letters on a circular surface might be a pain. Do you think I can do it?
I think you can do it.
All right, I'm gonna do the pink rosebud because that's slightly bigger. Do you think that's part of this, the bottom, that signature there?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you can use them however you want.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to like.
You're not trying to break up the band?
Yeah, I don't want to break up the band. I don't want to do it incorrectly. Oh yeah, that's going to be really good scale. Okay, I'm going to tape this so it doesn't shift on me. I have some. Where'd you put that painter's tape?
I know there's a bunch in the drawer over there.
You know what else we have? We do have some fabric, like those towels, if you want to stamp those.
All right, I know we're kind of pro chicken around here, but I used the rooster twice.
We are pro chicken. We love our chickens. And if you guys have noticed, look at our basket. The girls are back in business. I think it's over on that side. The girls have been...
They're back to work. It got warm enough.
Lazy.
They're getting enough sunlight now.
Yeah.
All right, this is done. I used one stamp, the mercantile stamp, and I didn't even use all the elements. Where's my lid? Okay, so there's one side, roll to the top. We've got these fun little elements on the side, both sides, and then I did the back. Now I'm gonna dark wax it, and this will be done and ready.
This is the easy part. The words are always the hardest. So I'm gonna have to be patient. You're gonna have to come up with something interesting to talk about.
I think my stag is almost done, so I'm also gonna get to doing that in just a second too.
Okay. Oh, they're actually, the thing about glass though is that it sticks really well. Like as long as your glass is clean and dry. So I'm gonna give you guys a little pro tip, or just some information, I guess. You don't have to seal it on the glass. You can, and that's fine, but unless you're scrubbing the heck out of it, it's fine. And you shouldn't put it in the washing machine or submerge it in water anyways. So I am just gonna make sure this is adhered really well, and that's it. I'm not gonna do anything else because I don't want the look of the sealer. I think it's gonna look weird, and it's better. And I've used this on like old windows. I've used transfers before, years ago. They're still on. So, and if you accidentally pull up a letter, you can just put it right back down and attach it.
Okay, I didn't do an all over wax. I just did kind of the edges where it would be like grabbed.
Oh, I like that. So you're making it look like an old box.
Yep.
An old mercantile box.
Look at that.
I'm trying to make this look like an apothecary jar. That's my goal.
So not a ton of wax here. I mean, it's almost like dry brushing the wax on.
This bottle originally came from Restoration Hardware.
And you're transferring it.
It cost me $0.
You're upping its value.
I'm upping its value. It was boring before. It needed a little Iron Orchid Designs flair. But you can pick up bottles and stuff like this all over the place. You can either like upcycle bottles that you get products in, or you can buy frosted glass. There's lots of things you could do.
Well, I see frosted glass at the thrift store all the time.
Yeah. You can go to the craft store and buy your supplies to get started with, or you can buy your projects at the thrift store and then buy your supplies from us. That's a lot better than buying new stuff. Okay, done. And I'm just gonna take this piece right here and just make sure all my letters are really secure and my jar's done. All right, I love transfers.
So this permanent ink is already holding up to me, like rubbing this wax off, and it's not pulling that ink off of the crockery. And we just, I mean, you saw me do it. It's just been like a few minutes.
All right, I just need a heat gun this.
Okay, it's right
some of the
over.
aviary, it's just a little damp in the cracks.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, and you know what? I need to fix it. I missed some spots on the inside. So you're supposed to set it with half sealer, half water. I'm just gonna use clear wax after it's cooled down from using the heat gun. Just know that if you're using clear wax, it's not gonna be like, you won't be able to like scrub it a ton, which nobody really scrubs a picture frame. And then also just be gentle when applying the wax so you don't smear the inlay. It's totally off brand, but I do it all the time. Okay, get my heat gun.
Okay, this box is done. I do need to paint the bottom still.
Yeah, I gotta paint the back of that frame, but I'm
gonna paint this, but we'll do that later. Okay, we got a little grunge, not a lot of grunge. You can see where it picked up the wood grain around this knot here. That's fine.
That'd be so cute to like bake some cookies and deliver it to somebody.
I would love it if someone would bake me that many cookies. That's probably like 2 or 3 dozen
maybe like
cookies.
a loaf of bread and some cookies and some preserves, you know.
Man, you're a great neighbor.
I know, I'm starting to think about dinner.
I'm gonna set this back here. This one's finished.
So I'm just making sure that the paint is dry in all these like cracks because it kind of pulls up sometimes.
All right, the stag. I am confident that he is all done. The dog is also finished. It's been done since the fox was done, but you can see how it got like really nice and white up in here around the antlers. That's the most fragile part of this mold. And because we use resin, popped right out, no breakage, easy peasy. Now I am going to, we might have a little come out from underneath because I want to make sure these antlers are on there really well.
Oh yeah, you don't want those peeling up later. If you had like a little like crappy craft brush, you could brush it on there. You could use your finger.
It's okay, I'm just mushing it on with this tip. I've got it cut pretty small, so it's pretty precise.
I'm almost done. I thought that it would dry. Everywhere else dried except for in the cracks, the paint like pooled up and... Oh, don't heat gun the paint inlay. Not recommended. I'm gonna heat gun that edge. You know, you think you got it all, and then I missed some spots on the edge. Can you pass me the aviary situation? So what are your plans with the...
I'm gonna aviary this edge, then I'm gonna bring in some gold like you said.
So you're leaving the inside unpainted?
Inside's going unpainted.
Okay. I was probably knee deep in my project when you were explaining all that to the people of YouTube and Facebook.
It's okay.
But I guess it's okay if it's not perfect around the edge because I am going to probably dark wax this crack.
All right, are you done with that aviary? I'm gonna let that dry for just a sec.
Am I done with the paintbrush? Yeah, I am.
And I'm gonna paint this side. The fox has been sitting here for a little bit.
What does the fox say?
I can't go that high.
I don't know that foxes actually say that, but they do in the song.
Oh.
Do you already have the clear wax out?
This one fell off.
Seb?
Nope.
No?
I might need to tape this one. Those antlers are not binding down like it did on the fox with the big head. I'll just hold it for a second while I paint this side.
That box is good.
The boxes, it turned out way better than I was hoping for. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good, but.
Who put back an empty?
Oh, there's a newer one over there.
I know.
And you happened to grab the empty one.
Sorry, I'm gonna use, there's just a little bit left, so so this is gonna get a lot darker, this DIY paint, but when it dries, it'll be somewhere between this color and this color. It usually takes about 24 hours. And sometimes it dries kind of splotchy, so don't freak out.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Oh, don't freak out. No freak out. I already told you so that we don't have to freak out.
Okay.
That way, you know, they know. And if you ever, like, it's been over 24 hours, it's still splotchy, just put more wax on it, buff it in. You can fix it. Occasionally, it's because there was some grease that came through the bottom. I can't help you with that. But most of the time, it's just fine.
I feel like that looks pretty good. I'm gonna dry this up, then we're gonna get some gold wax on it, I think.
I'm using the JRV stencil brush. I think this is like the 3/4 inch brush. It's perfect for waxing small things like this when you don't want to use a ginormous wax brush to do a little project. And also for detail waxing.
I guess
you can also use it for stenciling, but...
I guess I could go get the other heat gun.
I'm not heat gunning anything else, so you're safe.
All right.
I'm just waxing all this. I really want to make sure this edge is waxed well because I think I'm going to come in with dark wax around the edge. And you want to clear wax before you dark wax over the original formula DIY, Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint.
Porous versus built-in sealer, non-porous.
Yeah, the cottage one you don't have to because it has a built-in sealer. Cottage Color by DIY Paint, you do not have to do this, but this clay-based paint has a lot of clay in it. It's all natural, 9 ingredients, one of which is love. Love, water, clay, porcelain clay, chalk, alcohol,
That's the first ingredient.
Cellulose, pigments, and as preservative. I would be shocked if there's any other paint with less ingredients. I don't know. I mean, there might be out there, but...
I am probably going to have to start putting this little fox on everything.
Is it so
Look at how detailed this is. Now that the paint's dry.
Are we going to need to tell Ivy to order more of those?
Maybe. Okay, I'm going to go get some gold wax. Hope I can find it quick. Oh, there it is.
Don't stress. I could just use my finger and go around the edge of the rim.
You have I need more clear wax, so
well, you're not going to want this one because I am literally scraping the barrel.
All right, there's the black wax.
It's like gold. You can't waste it.
Found it. Get my kitchen screwdriver out.
Otherwise known as the butter knife. Don't freak out. They're 25 cents at the thrift store. We can buy more. People are like, don't use your knives. I'm like, I don't know that a stir stick is any cheaper or a screwdriver because 25 cents is pretty good.
Okay. Clear wax over the top, just like what Jamie was just telling you about.
Can I get a little
before I do the colored waxes?
I almost had enough to complete my task.
So this is, you can see it's going to get dark. It'll level out and be somewhere in the between.
Well, you can also, it's already starting to dry around the edges here. Now I'm going to make sure I don't have any buildup of wax because that likes to happen.
Man, I think what happened is I didn't put enough glue on this. It just keeps flopping off.
Or maybe it's see how it's kind of curved?
It's kind of curved on the edges.
Because of the way you poured it, so you're going to need to fill it in with glue. You might have to tape that on. I don't know what you did, sir.
Well, the fox just stayed right on there and proved my point, and this one's making me look like I'm a liar.
Well, it can't always be me that screws up on camera. Although there was the time you put the inlay on backwards 3 times. That was funny. And it was actual life.
Those chairs turned out amazing, and they
just got delivered to Alabama.
No. Was it Alabama?
Yep, and a carousel horse.
Yeah,
the same
we
sweet
shipped
customer.
them across the country.
She got to meet James. She said he was very nice. She loved him. And it's interesting that she brought those chairs and the carousel horse because they were made to live together. So I'm glad that they got a good home. I'm just using black wax around the edge because Marie was very dramatic. She needs a dramatic frame. I might add some gold too, I don't know. This is going from a very boring MDF frame to something really cool.
Marie also had like a secret garden, like private life though.
Oh yeah, she had her little private village.
Her little village that she made because she didn't always like the palace life, and so she disappeared back there on,
it's where
on the
she
back
came
40
from.
over there.
She wasn't always fancy pants. She was simple girl. Okay, so I'm just wiping back this dark. I just put it around the edge where all this detail is on the routed edge of my frame. You always want to lay down clear first, otherwise it's just going to be dirty. Or you're not going to be able to wipe it back. Especially on MDF, because that's porous, the paint is porous.
I'm just drying this the fox out a little bit because he was hot because I heat gunned him and the wax was flowing.
If you heat gun, it'll also make it like even harder, like it does that chemical reaction.
Now we're going with the golden rule. This is a gold wax.
Okay, this is where we're at so far. Don't stress. I'm going to paint the back so it'll be pretty. That's where we're at. I'm gonna wait and do gold on this too. Did this have a piece in it or, oh yeah, it did, okay.
Okay, we're gonna come up close and highlight this fox. It's almost gonna be like a dry brush. I'm not gonna hit every single spot, and I might even wipe some of this back. It's picking up his fur really well. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit on there for a minute. We'll see if the added glue will allow me. Man, that is good.
Let me see. Oh, that is cool.
Look at it on camera. It looks really good on camera.
I'm just folding this JRV decoupage paper. It's got Marie Antoinette on it. Just folding this so I know where to cut out her little face. So you can decoupage it, or you could just use it in a frame to be fancy.
Okay, I'm gonna try to paint this side. I think I got enough glue on there, and that's just what it needed. It wasn't adhering enough to the wood.
So I need to make it a little bit skinnier. I always tend to make it a little bigger, and then I gotta trim it back.
It's better to trim a little at a time than to cut it and have to go get a whole other paper.
Valid. All right, Marie.
It's kind of like cutting lumber, you know, you measure twice, cut once, but then sometimes you have to cut 3 or 4 more times. You gotta sneak up to that line.
Measure twice, cut 84 times. Mm-hmm. I'm not very good carpenter, so that, I just gotta clean this glass. It's got a sticker residue on it.
What do you guys think of the aviary and the gold on that fox? Let me know. I feel like it's a really winning combo. I'm gonna start using it all the time. So prepare for that because I love it.
It's very like regal looking. Like that's a very fancy fox, and a fancy fox needs.
This is on a very basic tote though.
It's fine. I put that fancy transfer on a very basic tote. Okay, now my glass is clean. I'm ready to put Marie in her fancy frame here. I don't want to get any paint where I don't want it. And then once this gets in here, I will paint the back of it later.
Okay. All right.
Ta-da! What do you think, Sam?
Oh, that's amazing. Are they? Let me go take it up there so I
Do you
can
think
see
I
if
should
it's
put
getting
gold on it,
glare
or you
not.
think it's good as is?
No, you might.
I was gonna do a
You
little
might do a
gold.
little gold around the edge.
Because it's Marie. Like, have you seen Versailles?
I think a little gold around the edge will take this from wood cutout to more of like a metallic.
Yeah. All right. Gold it is.
Oh man, that was the perfect picture to put in there too.
I did. You know what? I do what I can. I come up with good ideas every now and then. All right. Where's your gold wax brush?
Here is my setup.
So
right there.
That's the other thing that's great about these. This is like the 1/2 inch. This is a very small wax container. So if you buy the smaller wax containers, you can't fit a giant brush in there. But these stencil brushes, they work good. gonna kind of bring it up over the lip here.
I was a hair off a center, but I fixed it.
You were a hair off. And then I'm gonna kind of bring the gold around kind of the edge of Marie here. Kind of like a gold halo. It's gonna be very subtle. I don't know if you can pick this up on camera, but.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna wipe any back. I was gonna wipe the fox back a little bit with the gold, but I think I'm gonna leave in. Okay. I like it too much.
The gold is too good?
Yes.
I don't always wipe back my gold wax. Sometimes I just leave it. 'Cause I like it. Like I like a little blingy bling. I'm gonna maybe wipe it on this edge here, but a little bit goes a long way, especially if you're using a little brush so you're not wasting it.
All right, I am ready for wax.
Reveal?
When you are.
Oh, you got to wax? And then you're done?
Wait, maybe not.
I was gonna maybe do some dishcloths, but I think we'll save that for a different Waste Not Wednesday. We'll have lots more videos coming up using the new IOD, using the new stencils that we just came out with, like with so many fun products that there's gonna be lots of great videos coming.
It's the time of year I wait for all year long. That and Christmas, those 2 times.
I can really say that Iron Orchid Designs knocked the spring 2024 release out of the park. This is really good.
You know, this mold that I'm using right now, when I initially saw it, I'm like, I could use that for 2 or 3 projects, but now that I've used it, I feel like it's really versatile and I can use it in a lot of things.
I feel like that's what happens. Like you think, oh, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna love this. Then you start using it and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna need it.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna lightly wipe back some of this gold, not a lot.
I almost forgot to clear first.
Because I really just love the gold. And my projects are done. What can I do to help you?
I just need to finish this. If you want to maybe just pick up a little bit so that we can show them the projects.
Yeah, I'll clean up our situation here. Comment, let us know if you like what you saw today and what do you want. The other thing, if you're just tuning in, there is a transfer I haven't used yet. It is the Collage de Fleurs. It's got 8 sheets on it. What do you want to see me, what color do you want to see me paint with this? And then we'll do a video, we'll do another thrift challenge video and we'll paint a piece of furniture with that.
Totally.
Okay, are you done? Are you using all the waxes?
Yeah, I totally missed the spot right.
Do you have all the brushes though?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I start picking up and Zeb's still working and I start picking up stuff.
Pick up my stuff.
Oh, I think I probably will also. The only thing I still need to do is I'm gonna seal this, and before I do that, I'm gonna sand the lip of this because some of my transfer went over the edge. So this is the Lattice Rose paint inlay. This is a transfer. This is a Joy de Roses transfer. I just used 2 sheets and I did all the sides and I have leftovers. And then I used half a sheet of the Lover of Flowers for this apothecary jar.
All right, real fast. I'm just gonna screw the hardware back on this and we can wrap it up and bring this thing home.
Sweet. You did like the more complicated, I mean, I did the inlay, which you guys saw how easy that was. It really wasn't that complicated. If you do it the right way, it's surprising how when you follow instructions.
It went pretty fast.
It does work well. Okay, we're gonna put this here. Let me slide this over a little. When we get to showing you, I'll flip Marie up so you can see her a little better. When this release came out, Debbie's like, girl, this release was made for you. And I'm like, kind of it was. I'm sad that we didn't use the apothecary labels yet, but I know that in the next few weeks, when we're thrift flipping, you're gonna see that one come out.
Those are gonna get used, don't you stress it.
I'm not stressed. I'm over here not stressed. I'm also super excited to use this stamp set like on a rolling pin. It's gonna be good.
Almost there. 2 more screws.
It's like a little fancy, a little industrial. That's a cool tote.
The gold fancied it up.
Are you gonna dark wax it too, or just leave it like that?
I think I'm just gonna leave it gold. Let me bring it close so you guys can see it.
Okay. Did it finally stick? Did you finally get enough glue
Oh
in
yeah,
there?
I put more glue on there.
Yeah, it was just kind of concaved. I think that's why.
I like that I left the natural wood and the fox on the one side and the stag on the other.
Yeah, I do like a two-tone.
I did this on purpose so that like the horns went kind of up around the opener.
Oh, let me see that. I didn't see that side. Oh yeah, that's cool. All right, set it down. We'll do a little slow pan. I will hold Marie up. Now Marie's gonna get a lot lighter because the clear wax will, and same thing with the tote, that will lighten up a little bit. This will not change because this has a built-in sealer, the cottage color does.
Okay, we got all 5 projects out.
Yeah. And then do you want me to, when you get to this, you want me to flip it up so they can see the back?
I showed them. I think
Okay.
it's good.
All right. We'll get these all listed on the website at jamirayvintage.com. We'll have lots of pictures there and you guys can purchase any of the items that we showed you, as like any of the products, as well as these thrift flips.
I'm trying to get the glare off of Marie.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Oh, you were moving it. I'm like, why is it getting worse? I did not realize you were holding that. Oh, that transfer on that cloudy glass is
Right?
good.
It's good, huh?
Oh, you left the back open in the sink.
Oh. You can't see how we really live. All right, guys, if you want any of the paint products or these thrift flips, visit jamirayvintage.com. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more.
DIY.
We'll see you on the next episode.